Win Your Claim Wednesday is one of our favorite days of the week because we get to celebrate the victory and the win. And we like celebrating. Woo! Chris, welcome back, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited about this one. This one is really an illustration of an insured that didn't think they could get much more, got us involved. And even though this wasn't like a freaking grand slam, it was a victory for the insured and for us against the insurance company that said, no, they're not going to pay any more. But we were able to get him what he needed so he could finish the project. Tell us more, Chris. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. This was an interesting one for sure. This was a fire loss, and fires are always crazy.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
always
things that we found.
interesting.
Yeah, and this was actually new build of apartment complex, and it was during the actual new build. Guess what? There's some vandalism that took place, unfortunately, and burned the whole building down. So,
Whoa.
um, yeah, pretty crazy actually.
Yeah.
So,
That's one hell of a
yeah,
vandalism.
so and this one is so unique, and this is why you know, general contractors who are kind of doing their own work should get us involved in the very beginning because this
Definitely.
particular insured also is a general contractor for another company. And so, there's kind of like, okay, I'm doing the work. Obviously, I'm a hired general contractor,
Right.
but then what does that look like to the insurance companies? And is the insurance company being fair and paying out what they should, like they would any other general contractor?
Right.
So,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that's what he hit a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And dude, so let me just talk about that. So the insurance company is like, wait a second, you're the insured and you own part of this GC company, which is legitimate, by the way, because I have insurance on my house doesn't mean that I can't have a job, right?
yeah.
So I just happen to have a job as a GC and I'm also the insured in this situation, right? And so the insurance company kind of felt like, oh, wait, what are you doing here? Like, are you being legitimate? Are you being reasonable? Are you being fair with us? And then ultimately they were super unfair with him as we found out. So continue on, Chris.
Yeah, and then it just got to a point where he kept knocking on the door. He was getting no results, and he just thought, okay,
Yeah.
here are the numbers. I don't think I'm ever going to get this at all. And so he just sat down and was like, I don't think it's done. It is what it is. But then, he reached out. Actually, this is someone I believe we mutual connections with. But anyways,
Right.
long story short, reached out to us. We took a look at it, and we're like the first thing I noticed that they're actually getting a discount using him as a general contractor than they would another
Yeah.
company.
Dude, that's
That's the
that's a great
crazy
point.
part.
I remember that. So we started like estimating it on our own and we're like, this should be like 25 to 30% higher based on the
Uh,
estimating software that the insurance company uses that this contractor GC wasn't using because he's got his own subs and he's just like, hey, I know what this is going to cost. He's a GC, he's an expert. I think he's been doing this 25, 30 years. I can't remember exactly, but he's an older gentleman, so he's been at it for a while. Ultimately, like Chris said, it was less expensive for the insurance company to go with him as a GC than if we came in and said, hey, this is the GC or the insured's choosing somebody else, which just blows my mind. But
yeah,
what
it
do you
is.
do
And this is where things get a little crazy. This is why you should definitely get us involved because
at the
um, you know,
beginning?
yes, it can be a kind of a gray area because at the end of the day,
Right.
you know, obviously when you file a claim, you can't profit off the insurance claim. So in their mind, they're thinking, well, hold on a second. We're paying them this percentage. Why do we need to pay that? Well, that would be due for anyone,
Right.
obviously. Anytime somebody does this type of work in
Yeah.
here, they'll facilitate multiple subcontractors and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we dove in on this one here, and we were like, well, this should definitely be paid. This should definitely be paid. And it was just, having those conversations with the adjuster and just making the adjuster understand that they're actually getting a discount by using this person.
Right.
What, he assesses on his percentages
Yeah.
versus what the normal standard is, like in all the softwares that we use, they're getting a great discount. Like, stop giving this
Yeah.
guy a hard time. So,
Stop giving the guy a hard time and just pay what's due. That's all we're asking. And ultimately, we got it paid. Chris,
we did. We
show us
did. Yeah.
where we started. And again, this isn't like the grand slam of all grand slams, but this is a
No.
victory for everybody involved, including us, but most importantly, the insured. So the initial insurance estimate, $654,182.29. Chris, where did
Yep.
we end up and what was the
We ended
percentage
up
increase?
at 738,920.71 cents. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you look at the percentage, and I'll show you guys right here, percentage wise. It was only 12.95.33, but it was still an increase of $84,730 to where the insured never thought he was going to get. He just
Right.
thought that money was out there.
Yeah.
And
So if you're an insured, if you're a GC, if you're a commercial property owner or a residential property owner, and we're able to get you another $85,000 ish, right? $84,738. If we got you that extra above and beyond what you thought you were supposed to get or were able to get from the insurance company, would you be happy with that? I think most people would say yes. And that's why we consider it a win,
absolutely.
winyourclaim.com. But Chris, I'll let you finish up and
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I mean, this is where everyone has to realize too, especially the insured, that at the end of the day, you've got final settlement authority, and so there's there a portion that we could keep pushing after this. We had those talks, and at the end of the day, we came to the conclusion that the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze anymore. Everyone's happy because
yeah,
as the insured, you've got final settlement authority, and this amount was like, okay, I am ecstatic. I don't care about this other small things. Let's just get this thing wrapped up. We're done.
right.
So
And so I'm going to just finish off with saying exactly what you just said. The insured has full settlement authority, and he's the one that made the decision like, hey guys, this is the amount of money that I need to become whole and get everything else done here. Thank you for your help. Bellator Claims, winyourclaim.com. Thank you so much. And let's call it a day. Shook hands, and everybody went their merry way. And so he was happy with what he got. We were happy because we were able to help him. And then he was able to get that property to pre-loss condition. And everybody walked away happy. And that's all we want. And that's why we consider that a win your
Win your
claim
claim Wednesday.
Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. If you need help, go to winyourclaim.com. Again, we're going to tease this a little bit with the new subscription model program that's coming out for contractors, property managers, and the like. Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting.